Good morning, everybody. Sorry I haven't been on for a while. Trying to take care of some health issues. Um, let's get right to the meat of this whole thing. Donald Trump has been in office now for a month or 4 weeks. You know, he has gone on golfing trips. He has gone and taken Air Force One to buzz the Daytona 500, and then decided to waste more gas by getting in the beast and riding around the track. Okay. I'm all for cutting wasteful spending in the government. That's not what's being done. You have Elon and his merry band of tech nitwits just running into places without any investigation or asking any questions and just firing people and doing what they're doing. Elon Musk is not a recognized official except by Donald Trump. Doge does not exist. It is not a government entity. It has to be voted in by Congress. And it's not. So, as an American citizen, I have a problem with them going through my personal stuff. Why don't I just give out my information to a hacker? And that's what these guys are really doing. They're gaining access to these government offices, and these government employees aren't paid enough to tell them no. They don't have any credentials that say they're allowed to do this or permitted to do it. And we don't know what they're doing. You can't wave a paper that I can't see the writing on in front of a room of journalists and say, here's the transparency, here's where all the fraud is. And I'd like you, MAGA, to please put yourself in that position where somebody calls you up and says, hey, yeah, I'm that Nigerian prince that you've been hearing so much about. I'm still in need of money, man. Just either you send it or give me access to your bank account. Now, you wouldn't just turn over access to your bank account, would you? This is a person who ran in 2016 saying, I don't need your money. I'm already rich. And then has proceeded to force visiting officials to only use his properties, which is, I thought, not permitted. A president cannot make any money off the presidency. And there was Donald Trump doing just that. In addition to that, we had the Republican majority in Congress looking to go after and have Joe Biden held accountable for making money off the presidency or off of his vice presidency after he left, which is why no charges ever came of it and no charges ever will. He's allowed to make money on his own time. I don't know the ins and outs of it, not my freaking business. But okay, if that upsets you guys. And Donald Trump is plastering on his off time the seal of the president on towels and on vehicles and everything after his first term. My understanding on that is that was illegal. But nobody did anything. Now we go up to this time where even the people that voted for Donald Trump are hurting. I've heard the story of a nurse who was listening to a MAGA man who came in for treatment, who was boasting about his healthcare coverage, which is going away. Medicaid that he's on is being cut, but he voted for it. And we have many MAGA who are upset at losing their jobs and some other benefits, I guess, that they were collecting that didn't pay attention. And yet these people said if they were given the choice to vote again, they would vote for Donald Trump again. And they'll tell you they're not in a cult. This is that abusive syndrome, right? Where there's a codependency for some reason. I know, and I can speak on that because I was in abusive relationships and didn't know any better. I thought I had. I was a registered nurse. I had seen abusive victims come in. But the problem with that is that these abuse victims were physically harmed. What about the ones that are financially harmed, where they can't leave? They can't move. They can't buy food. They can't buy clothing. They can't take care of their children. They can't take care of themselves. And sadly, that is what we're headed towards. And I say I'm speaking as an American citizen. I am hearing from many MAGA how, because I am also a citizen of Canada and I reside in Canada, how my freedoms are being limited and how we should become part of the states. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is going after people that speak out against him. Donald Trump and Elon Musk have come up with comedians can tell jokes, but not against them. That's snowflake right there. And they are banning books and banning words and banning what can be taught, what can't be taught. And you're going to talk to me about freedoms. And I'm not purposely leaving out the fact that women's bodies are no longer their own. I don't think enough is being said about what's being taken away. I think that places like MSNBC and CNN and all these mainstream media, including Fox News and your other right-wingers, they're not giving us all the truth. The left is not getting the truth, and neither is the right. And I guess that's ultimately your choice. You can always change the channel. We don't always like what our elected officials do, but we can speak up. We have the power of the vote, which is now being said that is going to be taken from us. Many of you laughingly, and I think wholeheartedly, believed you wanted a dictatorship. You got it. And it's coming in full swing. It's not going to last long, because I know the American people. I know they will not stand for this. They fought against tyranny back in 1776. And they got it. As for making Canada the 51st state, you guys are so funny. I know the resiliency of the Canadian people and the handful of people up here that say, yes, we want to be the 51st state, have been told by so many of us to move, leave. States like California, who need to find a way to deal with their financial losses in this wildfire, an act of nature, and look at all those other places with the flooding. Donald ain't going to help you. He doesn't care whether you're blue, you're red. He got out of jail free. So it's Elon who is holding the purse strings. And he is gleefully making a buttload of money off of you people. Red, blue, it doesn't matter. A child just died in Texas because they didn't have the measles vaccine. They got measles and they just died. It's only going to get worse from here, guys. I don't care about the distractions. I'm looking at the fact that you guys wanted your costs to come down. They're going up. Canada's not buying American stuff. It's being taken off the shelves. Whatever they have in stock is being sold, and they're not going to buy anymore. Yeah, we have some bare shelves up here. But that's okay. The EU has stepped in, and Canada's going to be trading with them. It sucks to be in the US. And my heart goes out to those of you who are suffering through this, who did not vote for this, who voted Kamala. Those of you that voted for Trump, I'm not at that point where I want to teach you anything. I was screaming for those last 4 years. Everybody was screaming at you for those last 4 years with those long-winded talks he gave up there. And you all read into it what you wanted to make it believe and sound like. You wanted it to cater to what you wanted. And now you're finding out the hard way that what we were telling you is true. Prices have not come down as soon as he took office, that war in Ukraine is still raging on. And I stand with Ukraine. And now you're changing to go to another thing. This is what you did in 2016. This is what you did in 2016. You went right back and you did it again. This time it's going to hurt even more. And yeah. Canada's moving to take away the citizenship of Elon Musk. He went to the US and he lied about his immigration. You all screamed about Hunter Biden lying on a form about his drug use. Yet you're not crying about Elon Musk doing it. When we say that you're uneducated, it doesn't matter about your credentials. You know nothing about government. Nothing. And you proved that. Every time you open your mouth, you prove it. And we're not going to get angry anymore. We're just going to laugh and walk away. So, y'all take care now. You hear?